Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Makzwell. Today I'm going to be showing you some insta long corner smokes, insta Xbox smokes, and then as well as some insta B doors rush smokes that you can line up off spawn. And I am using the refrag service. You do have to pay for it. However, you can also use a hosted server such as a dat host server as long as it has the practice mod plugin. And I believe YPrac maps also have spawn resources. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it's worth checking out. And I'm just going to go over the spawns that we're going to be using for the Xbox and long corner smokes. And for refrag and practice mod, I believe they're the same. I'm not sure how YPrac works. So this is spawn 12. This is spawn 11, spawn 13, 14, and spawn 15. And those are the 5 that we're going to be using for the Xbox and long corner smokes. So, starting with the Xbox smokes, we're going to start with spawn 12. And so this technically isn't an insta throw, but it is an insta off spawn lineup. You're going to want to find this little spade in the wall. It's very easy to find without a scope. I'm just showing that for the point of the video. And then without moving your mouse, you're going to want to just hold D. I hold shift and D to make it easier. As long as you're within this part of the window and this part of the window, the smoke will end. It's very forgiving. Yeah, without moving your mouse, move to the right and jump there. That will end Xbox. Moving on to spawn number 11. Also very easy. You're just going to want to aim at the very corner of this window and then tap W, jump there. That's spawn number 13. That is up from this stain right here to the very right side of the stain to this part of the roof. That's a regular jump there. I'm gonna go ahead and add an outline to my crosshair just so it's not getting lost anywhere. And then moving on to spawn number 14. I just treat this whole stain as like a circle, and you want to aim at the top middle of it. That's a regular jump there. All right, and last but not least, we have spawn number 15. And the way I line this smoke up is going to the right of this stain until I get to this stain. So just like that, it's very forgiving, and that's just a regular jump there for you. And that will land Xbox. Now we're going to move on to the long corner smokes. They're a little bit harder, but they're still not as crazy as the B rush lineups. So again, starting with spawn number 12. The easiest lineup is you want to aim where this arch meets this line and then just jump there. And then the problem with this is it doesn't land perfectly. Like, you don't get as much out of the smoke. So there is an alternate way to line this up that I'll show here really quickly. So same lineup. While standing, you want to aim halfway between this corner and this vertical white line. So right about here. Then you're going to want to crouch. And then once you get to like the bottom of this, you want to jump through. And that should look something like this. I'll show you how that bounces here. As you can see, it extends a little bit further. There's technically a gap if you're close, but I don't see that being an issue. But yeah, more spread on this smoke. But it takes 2 seconds less to land, but it also takes a little bit longer to line that. So keep that in mind. Both are viable though. Moving on to spawn number 11. Also very easy smoke. You're just going to want to aim inside this corner right here and jump there. I'll show how these land since they matter a little bit more than the Xbox smokes. Again, a lot of these insta smokes aren't optimal in their spread. So you're kind of trading off how fast they land for how far they spread. If you want a good spreading smoke, you're going to have to throw a lineup somewhere else. But you got to take what you can get. So moving on to spawn number 13. You're going to want to go up from the left of this stain right here. You want to go to this line in the roof. So it looks like a little wire. And from the left of this stain. So it should look something like that. And that's a tap W jump there. Again, lands a little wonky, but still, you're getting the corner smoked. This one actually spreads more this way, but not as far this way. Again, gonna have to get some trade-offs going. Moving on to spawn number 14. Spawn number 14. this one, you are going to want to aim. So I kind of line it up by putting my smoke pin right here on this garage door. That's how you roughly find it. And this is classic view model, so I do apologize. There is a stain that you can line it up with. It's kind of hard to see. It's easy to see when I scope in. It's a very faint white stain if you don't want to use a view model lineup. That's just the jump there. That lands similar to the other one. Kind of right on the corner. You're not getting much spread, but you are getting it fairly fast. So, moving on to spawn number 15. I'd say this is one of the easier ones. You're going to want to find this little hook in the wall. And going up from this part of it to about like here, I'd say. So not directly in the middle of the stain, but cheat a bit upwards and then tap W jump there. That's going to be landing for you. And the reason this smoke is probably the best is because it bounces basically how the regular long corner smoke is thrown. So you get the same amount of spread. The only trade-off is that you have the most forward spawn, and if you're throwing a smoke, you're not really utilizing it, but you don't always have to use these smokes. You can throw them as a fake, etc. You can throw this. You can then go ahead and Molotov mid, whatever you want to do. But yeah, you don't always have to use these smokes. They're great for fake. So next is what I'm most excited to show. It's the Insta B Rush lineups from Spawn. And that is going to be using these 5 spawns right here. We have spawn number 7. And spawn number 6. The way I tell these two spawns apart is the shadow on the ground versus 7 is closer to the B. You have spawn number 8, which is at like the apex. Spawn number 9, which is just behind this license plate. And then spawn number 10, which is closest to the boxes. And we're going to go ahead and go in order of closest B to furthest. The spawn number 7, I put the corner of my smoke covering this part of the roof. Just like that. And then without moving your mouse, you're going to want to run to B using W and D. Once you get to this wall, you hold W and D. Once you hit this pillar right here, you jump through. That's going to go ahead and bounce and land like that. You're going to want to practice them because, like I said before, if you hit the wall, it kind of lands more like a lurk smoke. So you want it to be flush. Even if it lands like this, it's not the worst thing in the world, but still, you want to get it as good as possible. Moving on to spawn number 6. So that same mark on the wall, I crouch, put the circle part of the smoke pin in that, and then stand, and then go through the motions again. I'll just showcase it for all of them. It's the same thing, but voila. So moving on to spawn number 8, they're going to start to get a little harder here. Using the corner of your smoke on the top right, you're going to move it a little bit out from this part of the window. So you're going to want to put it in, then move it out. Just like that. So you want a little bit of a beige showing. Or even a bit more for that. Do the same motions. Oh, we got the lurk smoke going on. Still hit. But yeah, gonna have to practice that one. And then spawn number 9. This is the crouch. This is, you're at spawn 9 when you're at the license plate. You want to crouch, put your smoke pin right in this corner of the window like that. And then run the gauntlet. And then last but not least, the absolute hardest one. Spawn 10. So I was messing around with this. You really have to practice it. Swisher has a net graph lineup. I use net graph in a different location, so it doesn't really work for me. So I just had to kind of just trial by fire. And the way I found was easiest for me was putting my smoke pin just to the right of this little mark on the wall. Just like that. Just gently caressing it. Then again, run towards B. Honestly, one of the hardest parts is this part of the wall where you have to hold W and D. Gotta practice it. And there you go. It's jank, but for me, it at least lands jank consistently. Yeah. I would tweak these smokes a little bit if you plan on using them, because you definitely can get them better. For me, I would be fine with my smoke landing like this, but if you guys want it to land flush, you are gonna have to practice these a bunch, especially obviously the harder ones such as like 8 and 10, where pixels kind of make the difference of whether they land good or not. But yeah, that is everything from me for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope these smokes help you, and let me know what I can improve on or what you liked about this. Thank you.